お願いします。
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 Okay, just loosen up. Okay. Okay, go in front of the mat. Side to side. Rotate it. Good. Take it to a wave. Gaze to the head, left and right. Down. The shoulder. Circles. Good, run the neck. Bring the shoulders up. Spread and drop it down. Get to the top. Down. Come to the front. Back. Okay. Back. Great. Okay, roll the mat circles. Change. Second back. Change it. Roll the wrist. Keep taking the elbows to the back. Okay, circle the hips. And change it. And then the knees. Down, spread the knees away. Back up. Back into the back. Circling. Changing. Stepping up a little bit. Back and straight. You can get using the hands or the elbows against the legs, pushing in with the legs, pulling out with the pushing out with the elbows. Stretching back a little bit. Rolling them up. Change direction. Into the feet. Bringing the toes up. Folding the toes up. Working the in step and out step. Back to the toes, back onto the heels. Sink in the big toe down. Raise the big toes, sink in the other foot. Raising foot, circling. Stretching the toes. Foot up. Hip. Keep rolling out to the back. Okay, changing the leg. Straighten. With the hip. And circling the knee. Thinking at 45 degrees, dropping into the hips.
Hands on the knees, pushing the knee away, looking over the shoulder. Lengthening the spine. Just loosen side to side. And hold them one second. Change. Okay. One more. Now, bring this over. Changing up. Bring it down, just rock into the front hip. And hold at the front, twisting a little bit. The front. Change the leg. Hold it front. Bring the knees down and step. Just working the shoulder blades close and then squeeze them together. Open, spread them away. Finding the toes, stretching back, treading with the feet. Just settling the feet down. Just raising one up to the back, one leg. Okay, bring it forward into a lunge. Press it back, sink both feet down. Raise the other leg. Swing it forward into a lunge. Bring it back, stretch out a little bit through the feet and the shoulders. Okay, walking the feet to the hands. Release the body forward, let the head relax. Neck, spine. Bringing the arms, cross them over the head. Just swaying with the spine gently. Like this. Sinking the hands back down. Enjoy it. Nice and slow. Great. Let's go a little bit into the wrist. Just taking an 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒿 at the top. Change it side. 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒿 on the back. Change. And taking a thumb at the top. 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒿 variation. Change inside. Good. Into 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒃. Change. Good. Fingers. Change. Right. Extending out fingertips. Great fists. Good. Shaking them out. Roll the knees. The legs. And shaking out the whole body. Okay, perfect. Take a walk-in. Okay, just take it nice and slow to the 𝒂𝒐𝒏. Okay, we'll just play with one part of it, which is the where you're kind of closing the arms and closing the elbows together. So, well, not closing the elbows together, but it's basically from the cut. It's this point in the cut where you're kind of closing into the body and then focusing in. This movement tends to get kind of tends to be empty, tends to be like this, and then all the focus goes to the cut. So this gets no focus, and then this gets focus. So what I want to play with is just this angle in the cut. So it's just from this point. And really feel from here the elbows start to close together, the armpits start to close, and you're just working enough into this movement. So it's just where you close the space with the armpits to the body. So working from the top, this position, and then just that position. But not really focusing on the arc of the sword, but the closing of the structure. So you're going from this position where you're open to this position where you're closed. But it's just focus on that point when it happens in the arc. So from this position here to this position. This to this. So it's this feeling of closing the structure in, and you're kind of going to wedge the cut into that. Just play with it a little bit. So just cutting the short just allows you to focus on the closing. So. Yeah. Okay, good. So in this case, really focus on the shoulder. What will the problem with this is if I throw the sword out from this position, the shoulder empties, and this space actually gets bigger than closing down. So really think about here the sense that the elbows are going to drop down, and almost like they're squeezing together. So it's kind of feeling with it rather than that kind of feeling, and then I need to pull the shoulder back in. So really feel from this position, you just basically drop the shoulder in and down. So you're there and then there. So this is all closing down. This is all closing down. Think about when you do Aikido, it's the difference between pushing out with the arms and dropping the arms into the arm this way. So if you go to a movement like Aikido, which is a really big arm, got the same idea. I don't want to push this way. I want to go this way, so I'm going to close the whole structure down, because that's where my power is. So just play with it. You can also do it from here as well if you like. Yeah, it's the same kind of feeling. Yeah. Draws into it. So. Good. Yeah, and just one more point is you don't want to lock up the front of the body. So when you do that, make a distinction between this happening in the body, where this tightens, and this happening, where this kind of tightens and closes, but this stays soft in the body. That's really useful, because if I have just everything's kind of closed and hard, everything goes pulls me up over the top. So I need some kind of softness in the body, and especially in the front of the body, to allow that the sort kind of pass through. Same with Aikido again. I don't want to be like this, where this whole thing becomes like one unit. I want it to stay in the back to be engaged, but the front to be soft. So I can adjust the arms to it. So just below the last bit. Think about softening the chest. So think less now about kind of engaging the back, really focusing on softening the front of the body as you bring it down. It's a little bit softer. The obvious use of this is think about Murotadori. So when you've got the two hands on, if I harden everything and then I try and drop everything, and everything just kind of goes in like this. So you want to engage the back first, soften the front of the body, so that this basically allows that movement of the arm to happen. But at the same time, I want to drop weight through it. So you're engaging the back, softening the front of the body. So it's that same kind of feeling here. Different position, but same feeling. Right, and just go back, take it to the full 𝒊𝒏𝒈. So that moment in the 𝒊𝒏𝒈 tends to get missed because I'm kind of going through it fast, and the focus takes the attention. So just allow yourself as you do this, you go into this full open position, and as you go through that point, just think about sinking into the body as you do it. So closing the back, keeping the front soft. Closing the back. So you want to kind of bring the sword into a really tight wedge. So you're wedging the whole structure into the cut. So you basically all the movements have power rather than just the focus of it. So. As you do it, just take your attention to the legs. So the main thing with the legs, you don't want to focus, or you don't want to kind of brace them, kind of hold them in position. If I brace my head, power to it, it starts to pull the structure out. So think of the legs like really dense rubber. You're going to kind of release through them. So this back leg just release through it. This front leg as it comes in, just think about releasing into it. So you're going to kind of release from the inside of the structure and just let the weight of it drop into the ground. Drop into the ground if you do it. Drop into the ground. This is really useful later, so what I want to just kind of brace it, and then when I go to the next minute, I need to release it. So if I'm using this kind of structure, I'm just compressing down. I actually don't need to make really an adjustment when I go to another movement. So if you want to play with this, you just sink the weight down, and you should feel it. You should just kind of take a step with no kind of no need to adjust the body or release the tissues. Just sink it and go. Yeah, the other thing with this related, think if I can relax the leg to a point when it's kind of softening, what I can do is control it from the hip. So really think when you do this, think about really controlling it from the hip. So you're directing the foot from the hip up, rather than the sense that I'm kind of pushing up through the foot and then dropping in with the foot. So if I allow it to just relax, I can use the back leg to kind of drive this leg in from the hip. So use that connection to the ground. As if you're kind of pulling it up and down. But try and get the sense that the hip's basically controlling the leg. Back and forward. Again, useful when you go to other movements and go into stepping. As I can basically direct legs from the hip work directly. So. Great, just start to play with changing left and right. So you can do it either by stepping together or changing the back. Just play with it, you're basically changing. Experiment a little bit. Doing the same thing. Just switching the foot either time. Each time. Just really make a connection now between the elbows and the knees as you do this. So especially when you're stepping, we're kind of doing these rotation movements. Really focus on that connection's kind of widening and then narrowing between the elbow and the knees, but really focusing on heavy elbows as you go in, especially when you raise, and really relax the knees. So softening through the knees all the time. So especially these postures, right, when you're kind of bracing the structure, especially in the knee. And having to release everything to go. So just focus on settling in. Let the knee just hinge towards the foot. And let the elbows just stay heavy all the time. Great. Okay, we'll take this into 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒿 work. Just do one cut at a time. So in 𝒂𝒂𝒿, press into it, and then come back. Press into it, come back. You really control each time. Nice neutral 𝒂𝒂𝒿, and then release everything. Great. See if you can really find this kind of opening and closing this movement. So watch, this is really easy to find in the first movement whenever you come into the back. So this movement just naturally opens the shoulder up. I need to find a similar feeling also here where the shoulders kind of open and then coming up to here. But it's difficult because I'm not fully coming to the back. So see if you can find it as you reach this position, but feel that the shoulders are kind of softening. So the original point of this movement is that as you're coming up, if you receive a cut onto the sword, basically feed it through into the next cut. So it's an idea where I'm defending the body, covering the body, and if I do get struck, I can come into the next move. If I'm caught up in this position and I get hit, the structure receives it this way. So what I want to do is as a cut would come in, that position, I want to receive it down and feed it into the cut this way. Sometimes we're doing this in the 𝒂𝒂𝒿, but just really consciously look for it here, the sense of opening, releasing the structure down, and then here, but especially the shoulders. But I don't want this thing to get caught up in this pattern. So really releasing down through it. So it's useful in the first few to really release the hands as well. So really allow the sword kind of scissor through the hand.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Hey, hello.
See you later, guys.
Bye. That's it. Good. That's it. We're just playing now with two cuts. So from one side, left or right, you just come through. One, go around, release into the next one. Change the side. We'll take to number 7, just working on the left side. So you just step here, and then the rest on the left. So it's from the left side to the right side. Good. So we'll just look at a few variations of some 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒿 work. So they're all going to start with this first kind of step in, controlling up to the top. And then the first one we'll do is low, coming to the left side and striking low to the back of the leg. So you're coming up, pressing up to the top, and then curl the body in, up to the back. Yeah, the main feel of this is that sense of you're changing the body from the core of the body. So this is really easy in a way to do, because the sword's on the kind of outside, I'm stuck out, is to move everything around the sword. So everything goes kind of the long way around. Think about this doing the kind of short way. So you go here and then I adjust the center in that way. So I can actually make this movement really tight with the sword. This movement. But the thing that really needs to be in place is the center. So this kind of feeling, rather than that kind of feel, where I go all the way around it. So it's possible, but it means the center has to do a lot of work, and I'd rather do it efficient in a way. So keep the center quite tight and the movement nice and controlled there. So you're adjusting the body from the core. So yeah, that's it. Here we go, middle. This one goes to the solar plexus of the body. So you're coming up, you're stepping out now with the left leg and striking through this way. Just let the body kind of pass through. Again, try and organize it around the hips in the center so that you draw into this way. And up, out to the left, striking, following through. So you can do this footwork a few ways, and none of them are really wrong, but look, play with this one. It gives me more of a chance to kind of put the center in place through the strike. So you've got this move. Think that the strike that I make is going to be made with this foot, this. So that strike comes together this way. And then this movement, this pull through is done with the leg, this. So you're kind of separating a little bit the role of the feet in it. So you've got that, the strike, the power comes through from this leg and this coming through. And then from here, that drags the hip through this way. And then you can take that anywhere really with it, but just focus on that. The main thing is where the weight's coming from as I go into this strike there. This to this to this. Yeah. Wash. Yeah, I also always want kind of flexibility in the feet as well. So this precision in landing the feet and where I do the strike from is also so that I can adjust if I need to. So playing with this one, it makes it moves it a little bit more flexible. So you go here, this coming out, and then rather than just dragging the feet together, let that foot come through, and you turn it and you strike it again to the back. This is like a classic kind of Shikanagi movement, but you've got that. The key is that I'm driving through, this foot's landed, and it gives me freedom to drag the sword through, change the hip, turn around and strike again. So I don't want to, in this case, kind of fall through it. That limits my ability to do something else. So it allows me to do like option A, but B kind of disappears. I'm totally committed. Well, I'm over committed. Yeah. So look for an option where you commit to the strike, but I've got flexibility as well. Okay, great. We will stop there. Great. どうもありがとうございます。
どうもありがとうございました。
Very good.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks. See you.